Welcome to my channel Karma Romance Stories. Please like, subscribe for more videos.
Have you ever heard words so painful that they changed your entire life in one moment? Imagine standing in a room full of relatives while your own mother looks you in the eyes and says, "I wish you were never born." Nobody defended you. Nobody stopped her. Everyone stayed silent, but what happened next shocked every person in that house. I did not scream. I did not cry. I simply stood up and said, "Consider me as if I never existed. Live your lives as though there was never a daughter named Claire." Then I walked away without looking back. They believed they had won. They had no idea they had just lost me forever. Years later, one unexpected event forced every member of my family to face the truth they spent years trying to hide. Stay until the end because this emotional story proves that respect is worth more than blood. My name is Claire. Growing up, I always believed every family had problems. My mother was strict. My father rarely spoke. My older brother could do no wrong, while every mistake I made became proof that I was never good enough. I spent my childhood trying harder every single day, hoping that one day my mother would finally smile at me the way she smiled at everyone else. She never did. Every birthday felt different for my brother. He received parties, gifts, hugs, and praise. My birthdays were simple, sometimes forgotten. If I asked why, I was told life was unfair and I should stop acting selfish. I studied harder than anyone in school. I graduated with honors. Instead of saying she was proud, my mother asked why I was not the top student in the entire country. Every achievement became another reason why I still was not enough. Years passed. I moved away for college using scholarships because my parents refused to help. They said money should be spent on someone with real potential. I worked 2 jobs while studying. Some nights I slept only 3 hours before attending class again. Every success came from determination, not family support. After graduation, I built my career from nothing. I rented a tiny apartment. I learned to manage every dollar. Slowly, life improved. I earned promotions. I made friends who became my chosen family. They celebrated my victories. They comforted me during failures. For the first time, I understood what genuine love looked like. One afternoon, my aunt called. "Your mother wants everyone together this weekend." I hesitated. Family gatherings usually ended with criticism and humiliation. Still, I convinced myself maybe things had changed. When I arrived, the house was filled with relatives laughing, eating, and sharing stories. My mother barely acknowledged me. My brother was once again the center of attention because he had recently received another promotion. Dinner began peacefully. Then one relative asked why I was still unmarried. Before I could answer, my mother laughed loudly. "Who would want someone like Claire? She has always been difficult." Everyone chuckled nervously. I smiled politely, hoping the conversation would move on. Instead, my mother continued, "She has been a disappointment since the day she was born." The room became quiet. Then she looked directly at me and spoke the words that changed everything. "I wish you were never born." Time stopped. Every sound disappeared. I looked around the room searching for someone, anyone, to say something. Nobody did. My father looked down at his plate. My brother stared at his phone. My relatives avoided eye contact. In that moment, I realized silence protects cruelty. I slowly stood up. There were tears in my eyes, but my voice never shook. "Consider me as if I never existed. Live your lives as though there was never a daughter named Claire." The entire room froze. Nobody expected calm. Nobody expected dignity. I picked up my coat, walked to the door, and left without another word. Outside, the cold air hit my face. I cried harder than I ever had before. Not because my mother hated me, because I finally accepted she always had. That night, I blocked every family member. I changed my phone number. I focused completely on rebuilding my life. Months became years. I worked harder than ever before. I started my own company. It was not easy. There were failures, setbacks, sleepless nights, and moments when giving up seemed easier. but every challenge reminded me why I could never go back. Eventually, my business succeeded beyond my expectations. I bought my first home, then another. I traveled the world. Most importantly, I found peace. One afternoon, an unfamiliar number appeared on my phone. It was my father. His voice sounded weak. "Your mother is sick. She wants to see you." I remained silent. For years, nobody had called to ask how I was. Nobody apologized. Now they remembered I existed. I thanked him for calling, but declined. A week later, my aunt visited unexpectedly. She cried while telling me the family had fallen apart. My brother had lost his job. My parents were drowning in debt. Relatives who once praised them had disappeared. Then she whispered something that stunned me. "Your mother says she finally understands what she did to you." I listened quietly. For the first time, someone admitted the truth. Weeks later, I agreed to visit. I entered my childhood home. Everything looked smaller. My mother sat quietly. She no longer looked powerful. She looked tired. For several minutes, nobody spoke. Then she whispered, "I was wrong?" Those 3 words carried years of regret. She admitted comparing me to my brother had destroyed our relationship. She confessed jealousy because I achieved success without depending on anyone. She admitted her cruel words haunted her every single day. I listened carefully. Then I thanked her for apologizing. But forgiveness does not erase consequences. I told her I had built a peaceful life without constant rejection. I wished her healing. I wished everyone well, but I could never become the daughter they ignored for decades. As I stood to leave, my father stopped me. He apologized too. He admitted silence made him equally responsible. That sentence mattered more than he realized. I hugged him. Then I walked away once again. This time there were no tears, only peace. Sometimes the strongest revenge is not anger. It is building a beautiful life that no longer depends on the people who broke you. Family should never make you question your worth. Real love encourages. Real family protects. Respect cannot exist without kindness. And sometimes the bravest decision is walking away from those who never valued your presence until they experienced your absence. Years later, people still ask if I regret leaving. My answer is always the same. The voice you selected does not support this language. Please click the upper right corner to switch to another voice, because the day I chose myself was the day my real life finally began. The voice you selected does not support this language. Please click the upper right corner to switch to another voice. If someone constantly tears you down, remember this: your value is never decided by another person's opinion, even if those words come from your own family. Healing begins the moment you stop begging for love that should have been given freely. Sometimes walking away is not giving up. It is choosing peace over pain, and that decision can change your entire future forever.